In this episode, we're in Idaho with Noah from Born and Raised Outdoors, trying to get 2 bulls down in a week. With wildfires, missed opportunities, and perfect call-ins, we experienced the whole spectrum of emotions on this hunt. Nothing comes easy hunting with these incredible animals, but that makes everything even more special when it all comes together. All right, we are some undisclosed place in Idaho with the Born and Raised crew. We're gonna go meet up with landowner and discuss options on where we're gonna go. By Onyx, we know there's some fires on the other side of this hill over here, which is not where we are hunting, but it is also close enough that they have closed the road, but we're trying to get permission. Yeah, that's the one that we were just listening to cow noises, and I was trying to mimic it. Yeah. And towards the end, I felt like I got better at it. Was that more nasally?
Yeah, that's the number one way. Like in the woods, you can tell hunters that there's always that EO.
Yeah, that's what I used to do. Yeah.
But instead of
we could go.
How many hours was that?
3, I think.
The perfect tradition.
Yeah.
You bugle from camp.
All right.
And it's not make or break.
Yeah.
But it's a good omen.
It's good. All right.
Yeah, it's a good omen. Two bulls.
Heard it.
I think that's other hunters.
For us, it's always other hunters.
We had 3 or 4 bulls bugle last night, but then we set up camp. So there's always that. So I think we're just gonna walk down to a little perch down here and see if we can get one to fire off on its own. If we can't, we'll make some
Make some plays. There we go.
Preferably good ones. And then if we hear one, we hear one.
Yeah, we heard a couple.
We'll go kill it.
Like you said, we heard a couple last night. We did hear what was either wolves or coyotes over here, so hopefully they didn't screw us completely. But
at least they didn't wake us up in the middle of the night shaking.
Right.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
We've all hunted long enough to know that no matter who we go with, it's not gonna happen on the first morning. I think I'm starting to figure out where the problem, and it's not even anything that we do. It's just our presence in the woods just changes everything, you know?
A little bit louder cow calls, and I do like a 2-tone bugle because it's quiet but it carries, so that's that like train horn sound, that whoa, and so it won't blow something out super close. And if we haven't got anything to hit on that, I'm gonna get a little louder and longer, and after that, like scream, lip ball, chuckle.
If challenge, that would be the challenge.
Yeah, just like more aggressive. It's gonna carry a while, but like we won't just walk up to a point and do that.
Gotcha.
Because you don't know what's.
Yeah, you don't know what you're gonna pull out.
Yeah. And usually a bull's super close. If they're fired up, they'll respond to like. So if we walk up to a point and I cow call 2 times and a bull screams, knock an arrow. Okay, that bull last night was right there, and on the back side of that is a big draw, and then a big ridge at the top with all these little fingers and saddles. That's one of the spots I marked as like good. And then we can go around this backside road, bugle up that draw, bugle up that draw, bugle up that draw.
We were already learning a lot about calling from Noah, but couldn't find any bulls that wanted to play. So we headed back to camp to regroup and come up with a plan for the afternoon.
Checking a lot of boxes right now. They're all in one column, but at some point on that right column of found elk, we'll check that one too.
We continued the pattern, calling and moving, waiting for a response, until we finally laid eyes on our first sign of life this trip. Maybe the biggest bull that I've seen, and we bumped him over the ridge. That gave us some hope at the end of this full day of prospecting that we could get into some action tomorrow.
We're on a different piece of property. Trying to find elk.
Guys, we just made a run in the bass fishing world is what they call it. Miles south. It's like a 3,000 acre parcel. I don't know. It's not going to be worse than it was yesterday.
Nope.
I do know that.
It could be. If we don't see a giant bull. That would be the only way it could be worse.
I'd rather hear one.
Yeah, touche.
Big timber, it's logging, a little more broken up. So, I don't know. We'll see. I think we're going to get people probably right here. I could kiss all of you on the mouth right now. It's over the hill. Get to a point where we think we'll be able to pinpoint him. See if he'll sound off. Just wait for a minute or two. Then if not, we'll make him talk. And then from there on, we're gonna be checking the wind a ton. Then we'll move into a setup and just like try to call like taking their temperature, like reading his emotions, seeing where he's at, seeing if we can raise that, and then trying to figure out how to call him in from there. This is where it gets fun. One of two scenarios is happening right now. It's early enough that sometimes I'll just pipe off once as they're going to bed, and that'll be all you hear. The other is that, which is what we're going to play on, because it's all we can play on, being that the first bugle was so hard to hear where it was, is that he's just moved somewhere where we can't hear him. There's lots of little folds on the opposite hill that, you know, if you're not from the right spot, we wouldn't be able to hear him, he wouldn't be able to hear us. So now we're just going to mark on the map where we have been, where we think. I mean, basically what we like to do is go on X, look at our tracks, look at where we think he would have heard us, and then look at everything that he wouldn't have, and then kind of just start checking boxes that way.
And then my gut says to listen to whatever you say because you've killed way more elk. So that's what my gut says and my heart says.
After calling throughout the rest of this smaller piece of land, we went back to camp to split up. Noah had to go into Boise to grab Cal, and we went to cover some country without him.
We're gonna go to the last only known place that we've seen an elk and try to backtrack or call or just glass down in here. Noah had to go pick up another one of your kind at the airport.
Camera guys?
So we stole Joe because Joe's now he's the resident professional, and we're gonna try to kill an elk without Noah so we can piss him off. I like this way better. Yeah. fire. It's not good, Scott. Tracks look pretty fresh because there's broken pine needles and nothing on top of them. There's truck tracks with elk tracks on top of them. So the clues say they're walking through here, but they're not really staying here. But this is a very large piece of property. It's not like a, 1,000 acres. It's like tens of thousands of acres. So right now we're just in a very foggy, very smoky situation. There's fires pretty close. There's danger close.
Yeah.
We're seeing helicopters fly over with vats of water.
And 4 airplanes so far.
And airplanes carrying water. It's pretty smoky. Nose is pretty dry. It's hot. But when we said yesterday there's no signs of life, we then immediately saw mule deer. And then I said to Joe that he had to be more specific. So I said, we want a bull elk. And not 45 seconds later did we see a bull elk. So maybe we just need to speak into existence another bull elk within shooting range, and we get a good shot off on it.
We were sitting here, and we were bullshitting. And I thought I heard a chuckle.
Hey, you heard a chuckle after my cow call.
After Rich's call, he's getting really good at it. Chuckled after we all actually chuckled.
That's true. Yeah, Bird was chuckling, laughing. And then Joe's like, did you hear that chuckle? And I was like, yeah, we heard Bird chuckle. That was it. And sure enough, he lit up a bugle and we got something. He just, He sounded closer that time, didn't he? I hear him. He's still pretty far down there. I think there's only one, but I'm not sure. I just don't think he wanted to fight. I think he was just trying to.
He wasn't committing.
At no point was he coming towards us.
It sounded like
I think he turned his head. I think he maybe turned his head.
It sounded a lot closer than he was.
He didn't see us. He didn't wind us. He didn't hear it.
Oh, the wind.
So we had a bull. And he was calling. We're pretty sure he's afraid of another bull because he ran. There was like talk of like, hey, maybe we give up on the pursuit. And I said, hey, let's go over this next little knob. And let the record state that Scott said, we always just go over the next little knob.
That's true.
And we always find elk when we go over the next little knob. So we cow called a little bit. And sure enough, the bulls, at least in this area vicinity, we think, we listened to a Remy Warren podcast. And he said, speak to the elk how they want to be spoken to. And we've noticed that he likes the cow calling, so we're going to hang out here. Wind's not great, but we're not going to leave elk to find elk. Also another old hunter proverb. I don't know if that's true, but you don't leave elk to find elk, so we're going to hang for a little bit. We also have freaking helicopters flying over us every 10 minutes. Saw us. He was drawn, but he never gave me vitals. Never saw him. He He was right here. I mean, I just didn't know if he was gonna come. It's the problem. Like, he was not
too far in the road.
He was not coming originally, you know.
Yeah. I don't think he was down here the entire time. No, he was up there. Yeah, he was down.
Wow, I heard him, so I couldn't tell if he was raking or wallowing.
I think he stopped over there for a minute too, and I started going. We got another bull going up there. Noah's like,
Noah went to town, drove back, and he's gonna kill another bull.
he might push. They're like 400 yards up the hill. Got another bull going up there, and you're gonna try to whack him.
I let you all down.
So they're down on the bottom. Rich missed that bull, but I was calling to try and hear them, and I just had a bull scream and chuckle like 300 yards from us, so we're gonna go shoot him.
Oh yeah.
Bull's bugling on top of me now. He sounds like he's by himself. No, he didn't wind us either. We called him in 3 times.
Yeah.
Each time we called him in, he had to make up the last 40 yards, and he didn't like that. It's just, I mean, we worked hard and called him in 3 times, which is a victory in itself. I'm solo right now in timber where you can see 60, 80 yards, which is like textbook not ideal. So, it sucks. They were down on the bottom, and we've got in on this bull on the way trying to meet them, and having a shooter, I mean, we literally could have shot him 3 times. Just, even if we had someone 10 yards in front of us. The best shot I had was right there. He was broadside at 60, but like quartering towards, and there was a lot of limbs, and it was just not gonna happen. I would have to bugle to get him jacked up, cover ground, and then stay put, hoping he would go to the last spot, but then he would start to lose interest. That bull needed a lot of attention, and so we would have to stop calling at the last second. And that way he obviously didn't know exactly where we were. And that was the difference between killing him and seeing him 3 times.
I don't know, Scott. Apparently there was a bull down there. Noah went after him. We decided to come up because we weren't interfering with anything that was going on with Noah. But now that we're up at the top, apparently that bull is now working his way back up. So, I don't know, man.
It's chaos.
I called Rich and Joe. I got this bull located again. He sounded angry again somehow. I don't know. We never really spooked him. He was tired of putting in the effort. So they're about a mile away. I told them to get here at a high rate of speed before the wind switches and blows downhill. Right now we have the perfect scenario to call this bull, and we just need a caller and a shooter. And we gotta get him before the wind pulls down the draw. We're gonna get in like 80 yards, and I just want you like 30 yards in front of me. Okay. Me and you need to be able to see each other, because this bull needs a lot of attention. Okay. So we gotta work him a lot. Okay. If we work him a lot, he'll come in. Okay. So, but when we're gonna have to push up at certain times and get in his face. So just be checking in with me, and if just that amount. Yeah. You got him. You have to sneak. Okay. I'll make all the noise. Go. He's on that ridge line. We'll kill him.
I see a split V tree. Where am I going from there? Back this way. Oh no. Oh, right here. 30 yards. Yeah.
Just on the left side of that. Don't be behind it. Be in front of it.
In front of it.
Shoot that flat.
Okay. Be in front of that tree.
Just on the side of it. Okay. I'm gonna try to get him. He's gonna walk broadside on that.
Which way? Right to left. He drilled him.
Awesome. It was a little back, but I didn't wait. I didn't pause him, but
Like a 12 ring.
12 ring. Oh yeah. Right where he said.
He just bit it right behind the hill. He was coughing.
Yeah, I heard him death coughing. So I ranged that brush and it was 45. And at the last minute, I don't know what I set it to. I was like, he's coming in closer.
Oh yeah.
That was like perfect, right where you said. Dude,
Came up out of this saddle.
dude, perfect.
script.
Right when you, dude, magician. Gosh, especially after like lowest of lows with that one earlier. Because I mean, you're just like playing so many things in your head. You're like, what could I have done? You're like, I mean,
You get back
I'm
on the horse.
convinced nothing I could have done, but still, you're just like,
Well,
gosh dang.
The blessing of it is clean miss. Like
Yeah.
that's what we always talk about.
Yeah.
We want a perfect shot or a clean
clean
miss.
miss,
It was a
yeah.
clean miss. They did their due diligence.
Yeah.
They hiked 2 miles to the bottom. Me and Cal got here. I was like, we're gonna drop in, go help them. I'm bugling to locate them, and this bull torches off, and you guys just saw. I mean, we called him in 3 times. We worked him from like a mile away all the way to here, had him bedded. I'm like, you guys need to get here. We have 20 minutes of wind. When you get here, we're gonna kill him.
So let me tell you how we got here. We went up about 300 feet. We went over, we went down about 200 feet. We went back up about 200 feet, went over, came back down about 500 feet.
We were on the same elevation line. I knew from just working
what
that
he was
bull.
doing. He
I
wanted-
mean, you never know.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But from reading his temperature, raising it for the last 2 hours, I'm like, if these guys can get here before that sun gets any lower, we're gonna get to right here and we can kill him.
And you said exactly what was gonna happen. He's like, set up by that tree, saddle. He's like right there.
This is your first time really experiencing like calling elk.
Yeah.
So from the very beginning, we talked about like we run the playbook.
Yep.
We want to find the one that wants to do that.
Yep.
And yesterday was a long day, and you go a whole day without getting something, it feels like it's never gonna happen. And then we talked about like 24 hours later, it can switch like
It
that.
literally switched.
And so this bull, like I'm not gonna talk about it anymore, but we pushed him for like 2 hours. He goes up, we're about to hike out. I'm like, I'm just gonna see. And I bugle and he just screams at me in this saddle. So saddles are awesome. They're the best. So it's a ridgeline coming down, benches out, goes back down again. He's in that saddle. And so what we're doing is this is wide open. From ridgeline to the top, this is wide open. He was off the right side. Perfect scenario, wind's pushing this way. So we tucked into the trees, right? Because he might have been able, he may not have, but we're gonna play it safe. So we tucked into that tree line. And then I went to that tree line and we have that flat, the flat that you called him into. So when we're looking at this, reverse engineering this, just to try to be the most effective.
I want to learn.
Right? So I'm thinking, if you, we always want the shooter to be where the bull has to get to see the calling. So I'm thinking if you get to these Christmas trees right here,
Yeah.
that bull's gonna come out. And the best is broadside, right? Like frontals work.
Literally perfect.
But that's what we want. And the wind's pushing this way, so I'm gonna tuck into the trees. So for me, I wanna give you 10 yards of insurance. That bull has to get to right there to see me.
Yep.
That's where he's gonna come into.
Mine was a true 5 with a tiny devil, and then I killed a 6 and a normal 6 and 5. So I guarantee he's probably 5 by 6. That's just what I got. I'm fine with it. Freaking awesome bull.
How's that?
They're so cool animals. Gosh.
It's a great bull.
What'd I say he was? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 for 3 on 5 by 6s, baby. Oh man.
Good job, dude.
Look at that freaking arrow. I've killed one other with a bow, and it was completely silent, you know.
Yeah.
And that was knowing he was coming, could see him, dude.
Yeah.
And what was crazy was literally everything that you said was gonna happen happened. He's like, you walk up to that tree, I'm gonna go over here. As soon as I call, he's gonna walk out on that bench, and that's exactly what he did. It was awesome.
It's
Incredible.
like the part that I love, and that's why I love calling too, is just like the chess game.
Yeah.
Like it's not just finding them, it's another dynamic after that, and it's just like taking all the information you have with the last 2 days, where this bull's at, what he's doing, how he raised his temperature and how he reacted, and then like, okay, what do we need to do now to get this thing killed? Like just only thinking about that, and it's just it's so fun.
I always say it's the ultimate competition, you know, like
Yeah.
the first competition there ever was us against animals, right? So
Okay, so when we hunted with Derek Wolf,
Yeah.
he told us
Yeah.
that killing a bull elk with a bow beats tackling Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Does this beat winning CrossFit Games?
Heck yeah, dude. This is
Just making sure.
It's man, I love it. It's awesome. It's so much fun. So much fun. We never want guys to question, hey, should I go after
Do I
that
have what
elk?
it takes?
Yeah, we're going after that elk.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we always, our tagline is train for the pursuit.
Well-
I actually hate
Yeah.
motivational quotes, but train for the pursuit's pretty good.
I think it's accurate, and I think that's a big hang-up for a lot of people is it's scary.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to go. I don't even know how to pick a spot on the map. I hear Colorado's at 10,000 feet.
Yeah.
All these things, and so don't let that stop you. I mean, there's so many resources, but that's geared around
Beginners to
hunting.
elite. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's all hunting. It's all hunting
making
based.
your way through the woods, packing hindquarters, or
Two
two front shoulders.
shoulders.
Hello, up out of the hill, and just come prepared and don't let there be any excuse.
That's right. Yeah, no excuse.
Yeah.
So we just watched the film. Yesterday we watched the film, make sure their arrow missed, which we saw. But we thought it was a completely different bull that we shot last night. Turns out, after video review, it's the same bull. So which is kind of cool story.
A little weary.
Yeah, probably he's like, I don't trust you, but
convincing.
man, it's cool. Cool, full circle story on that one.
How does it feel to be tagged out?
Good and bad. You know, like, still want to hunt, right? So it's hard. But I want to see Noah kill something too, so still get to be part of the adventure.
After 30 plus bugles, Noah finally found a bull that wanted to play, and after listening carefully to better pinpoint his location, we dropped in after him. Unfortunately, we were a little too aggressive, and the bedded bull bumped up off of our ridge.
We ran him over. Our initial guess is that he was bedded right here, honestly. And he had us fooled because it'd be loud, quiet. And so I thought we all thought maybe he was over in the next draw or a little further down in the bottom, but he was just bugling out of his bed. And we got to 30 yards of him, and he blew out down the hill.
Remember that forest fire from day one? Well, it was about to burn through half of a hunting day for us.
Alright guys, we just had to pull out of there. We got a call from Forest Service saying, wow, it's a lot of smoke, you can see it from here. A big fire blew up like really close to our camp, which is a little sketchy, and like we need to go get there and pull out our camp now, or else they're not gonna let us even back in there. So we just ran out of here. It's prime time, bulls are bugling, but that's what we gotta do. So we're gonna go pull it out. Hopefully everything's all right. Hopefully they let us in, but we are running from forest fires right now. So it's a huge problem, and it's pretty scary.
I see fire come from below. I hear thunder crack on the road.
Guys, this fire's come up over the ridge. It's like a mile and a half away as the crow flies, non-stop choppers. So we need to like load up camp like yesterday, you know. Oh! There you go, can you pulling it on?
This was our home. It's no longer our home. We're having to move. We're being evacuated. Yeah, home went from here into there. Not good. Not looking good at all. Yeah.
Look up here.
What's up here?
Like,
Oh, well, what's bad is fire, lots of hot spots. Fire, lots of hot spots. That's where we just were and where we are technically going. Yeah, you can see.
So just for reference, where we killed Rich's bull last night is on fire right now. So we just got camp loaded up. It's coming down the hill. We gotta go. We have successfully relocated camp. Don't have a lisp, I just have a reed in my mouth. And we're gonna go see if we can get back on that herd or a different one. And we got an hour and a half of daylight. We are no longer on fire, or at risk of being on fire for the forecastable time being. So we're gonna go do what we do best, or try to do best, and go hunting. Sound good, Scott?
sounds good.
Anybody else hear that? We got one. It took bugling probably 10 times. One just torched off like 300-400 yards. It's getting dark and the wind's sucking downhill, so we're not gonna get over him, but just trying to figure out what drainage he's in for tomorrow. His first bugle was the best. I don't think he's that far. It sounded pretty clear. It was quiet, but it was clear. We at least got something to go on in the morning, so we'll see. Back out of here. Go set up camp in the dark. Again. Kill elk. Just like that.
The next morning began our last day in camp, and we wanted to see Noah fill his tag before we had to leave. Despite locating the bull from the night before right away, things were slow. But that afternoon, we'd get the opportunity we'd all been waiting for.
So I swore I heard a bugle from back there, super hollow sounding. We moved up to more clear air. Took 3 or 4 times. I think it's just because it's so far away he can barely hear us. And finally got him to do the same thing, and then he chuckled a little bit. I bugled and chuckled at him, and he just chuckled quite a bit. So we're gonna like really go back to the truck, dissect Onyx, and we're gonna take what we learned yesterday. I think he's bedded along this ridge. We're gonna figure out the best plan for attack, and then we're also gonna really trust our gut being where he's bedded based on terrain, and then just play that even if it maybe doesn't sound like he's right there. And that's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna run him over again. The road is 330 yards down there. I think it's a ways back to go drive it though. I think it's just we lose 400 foot. We got him to bugle from the original spot, so it turned out we didn't have to hike the last mile like straight below us, but the wind's just like getting ready to change and go downhill, so we're gonna back out 300-400 yards, get down to his level, side hill into him. When we go to call him in, let's just make sure we're like really gauging off of what he's doing. Like, it's not every time, but that was a little more jacked up, no chuckles, so it's just like just trying to match him, maybe raise him a little bit.
The bull zigged when he needed to zag. He came straight to the road where Joe was calling from, but Noah didn't have a shot. I was raking further down the hill, but our whole plan went sideways once our bull got across the road. We were all pinned.
He was on the road. I could hear him. I was trying to signal you guys to move down. That's why it's like eyesight. I shot him for 60 and he was 68. Right underneath him. And the shot broke money and everything. I just couldn't get a clean range. Then it ranged after, like right where I could see where he was sitting. It was 68. He just walked off.
No matter what the situation is, it sucks to miss a shot. Regardless, this was the end of the trip for us, but Noah still had his tag to fill and plenty of days to get it done. For the full story on Noah's bull, you'll have to head over to Born and Raised Outdoors YouTube channel, but we'll give you some highlights. The first day we left, they got into a herd bull from the same herd that we'd been hunting, but for multiple days, he wouldn't come in.
He's so hard to hunt that I just want to beat him.
He is so hard.
I don't think I've ever hunted a bull like. There was one other time that we were on a bull like 2.5 days in a row that we named Bruce, and he was giant.
2 days later, all the stars aligned, and Noah got it done in Idaho.
This bull's come right here, and I was worried he would win this before I got a shot on the big ones.
Obviously, being successful getting 2 bulls down is pretty special, but one of the coolest parts of this trip is merging 2 groups of complete strangers into a now group of friends. The memories we share chasing bulls in Idaho are something that will forever be a part of this group, and we can't wait to do it again.